With Brexit looming, are today's figures perhaps a sign of things to come? I'm joined by the co-chairman of Leave Means Leave, John Longworth, and the founder of Pimlico Plumbers, Charlie Mullins, who voted to remain. Very good to see you, gentlemen. Well, let's relate certainly the initial part of this discussion to some of what Ed uncovered there. And productivity, I mean, we saw there that the productivity slump well predates the Brexit vote. But John Longworth, productivity is not going to improve, though, if investment doesn't pick up, and that perhaps is related to the Brexit vote.
Yeah, investment's critical to productivity, so is technological development, of course. We saw from that historic map a lot of the peaks in productivity related to technological breakthrough. You know, the productivity puzzle isn't so much of a puzzle. If you have an unlimited supply of cheap labour from the European Union, there's no particular need for big businesses to invest or to train people, and therefore it disincentivises those things, which then reduces productivity. And actually, we have a huge opportunity with Brexit to do the reverse, to actually unleash that cash from businesses if they embrace a new paradigm of a growing economy. Repatriation.
Okay, well, let's get Charlie Mullins' view on that. A man who's invested many millions in improving productivity in your businesses. Do you see it that way, then, that Brexit could be one of the keys to unlocking this problem?
Not at all, no. I mean, productivity is down, I think, by 0.5%. Inflation's up, I think, to 2.9%. Car sales are down. The service sector that we're involved in is showing, which is 80% of the economy, is actually showing the slowest growth in 4 years. This is all the signs that I and many other people predicted would happen. And I'm afraid to say I think there's worse to come.
And we read, John Longworth, almost on a daily basis of businesses asking for more clarity about the government's plans, because they are making investment decisions, some of them long-term investment decisions, and they need to know pretty soon what the shape of the settlement will be.
Because you've been quite selective with the stats. The balance of trade is much more positive than it was. We've got manufacturing profits rising to an all-time high since before the recession.
Well, could that largely be seen just because of the devaluation of the currency?
Investment in commercial property going up. But actually managing the currency, of course, is hugely important. It's exactly what Germany has been doing for the last 2 decades. Leaving the European Union gives us a chance to manage the currency level to a reasonable level. We can invest the 10 billion a year net contribution that we pay to the EU. By the way, over a period of a parliament, that 10 billion a year would pay for Jeremy Corbyn's entire programme without any tax rises whatsoever. That's the scale of it. We can actually rebalance the economy towards the regions, towards manufacturing. We can reduce tariffs. That would be a 4.2% boost.
Just let me get Charlie Mullins. I mean, you didn't seem to quite answer the issue of, you know, particularly major employers taking fundamental structural investment decisions, and they are saying, and you can't deny it, they are saying, are they not, Charlie Mullins? We don't quite know what the landscape looks like.
There's no security out. There's no confidence. We have this problem with we're still unsure of the immigrants can stay or not. Theresa May said they've been here for 5 years. Yes, they can stay. So many more are not applying for work now. I think there's something like 92% less nurses applying from the EU since the referendum. So I don't see that there's any encouragement out there at all. I think the confidence is gone. We need somebody to let us. Look, we're no better off now than what we was
a year ago. But in your businesses, let's relate it to just what John said there. Would you be encouraged to train up more people who were born in the United Kingdom?
Well, of course.
If your labour supply was restricted?
Well, of course we are. I mean,
why don't you do it already?
Well, we already do. I mean, we do the best we do, you know, and, you know, we're all for apprentices and getting more people into it, and maybe this is one of the changes that are needed. But the real problem you have here at the moment is there's going to be job losses go on, there's going to be a lot of people suffering it. They're already talking now about interest rates going up. I mean, you know, let's not kid anybody. Did anybody really honestly believe we're going to be better off out of Brexit?
Yeah, I do.
OK, well, John does. That's why he's here.
We've got a huge opportunity with Brexit to change the economic paradigm into a situation where the UK actually booms. Deregulation, net contribution repatriation and tariff removal.
But that's not necessarily the Brexit we get. That's the point, isn't it? I mean, I know you're one of the levers who's always talked about deregulation. There are others who say that they want more regulation.
Those three alone, 7.2% of GDP, that's like having a third increase in growth for 10 years. That's an enormous opportunity. It's up to the Chancellor to actually start to plan for that. And what we really need, because I agree with Charlie on this, about business confidence is what we really need is for the government to make it perfectly clear that if at the end of Q1 next year there is no sign of a free trade arrangement deal, then we should
that's the point, isn't it? That's what we've been talking about. Is that the point? Could you and other businesses and other business people, you know, could they adapt to whatever it is the government says it thinks it's going to get? I mean, you may not agree with it, but at least there's clarity. That's the point.
I'm going to say whether we leave or stay, you know, we've got to get on with it and do the best we can do. But let's hope that David Davis gets the Brexit that he's hoping for, that he says we're no better off, we'll be no worse off. I'm actually having dinner with him this evening, so I'll be checking out with him.
Come back and tell us about it, perhaps another day. I mean, there is one clear effect. We talked about productivity and the dive well predating the Brexit vote. But Charlie touched on this, John Longworth, and it is the devaluation of the currency directly related to the Brexit vote. And coming in its wake, surely must be some interest rate rises. Now, given what we've seen about personal savings in particular, personal indebtedness in actual fact, that is a danger, is it not?
Well, indebtedness has been the real risk, of course, for the global economy and the UK economy ever since the recession began.
But people have been dipping into their savings and borrowing.
Independent of Brexit. Right. And the thing is that we should actually manage the currency to be at a reasonable level, which other countries do, notwithstanding the G7 agreement. We should manage it. It's not actually a bad thing that the currency is at the level it is at the moment. It's a good thing.
The pound's dropped a hell of a lot. We're already paying 10% for boilers and boiler parts. Costs are going up tremendously. And we're told now, evidently, if we do try and backtrack and go back into the EU, they're going to do away with the pound and we've all got to work on the euro. So, you know, are we really going to be any better off the way it's going?
What are you finding about consumer behaviour as this level of indebtedness grows?
I mean, as a company, we're busy, but as 80% of the service sector that makes up the economy, growth has certainly slowed down, the slowest in 4 months. And, you know, it's in the investment. I'm talking to people that are unsure. They just haven't got the confidence no more. I mean, you know, let's hope that, you know, the snap decision that Theresa made re-election, she doesn't make any more snap decisions, because that was nearly disaster for us.
She might have a snap decision made for her. But, John Longworth, I mean, there are presumably decisions being taken. I'm almost going to be Donald Rumsfeld-esque here, that we don't know about. That there must be companies, perhaps small and medium-sized companies around the world saying, we want to invest in the European Union, we would like to invest in an English-speaking country, but we don't know the shape of the deal and deciding to go elsewhere.
And yet investment in the UK has gone up. You know, foreign direct investment. We've got Deutsche Bank building 2 buildings, they announced last week.
Investment ain't gone up. I've been dealing with a very well-known, the oldest established bank in the city, and they tell me quite clearly foreign investment has gone down.
And they are making contingency plans, you will accept that.
For what?
For a hard Brexit as it's put.
Well, and of course they should.
You talk to any of the big banks, and they have got task forces looking into relocation or partial relocation.
So-called hard Brexit provides huge opportunities for business. It's just that that voice has been drowned out, partly by the media, partly by the Remainers. The truth of the matter is, as this unfolds, it will become clear that there are huge opportunities to be had from Brexit, which actually will then boost the economy quite substantially. As I said before, an extra third to growth year on year for 10 years, just from 3 of the measures the government could take, that are only available if we leave the European Union.
Last word, Charlie.
Well, we had a good deal going already. Why do we want to go away then try and renegotiate a deal?
We had a really bad deal,
really?
Actually. The single market was really bad for the UK.
But our businesses have been booming lately.
Our exports during that period that we're members of the single market, as opposed to the common market, were actually bad for the UK. Our export levels grew much more slowly than the United States, which isn't a member of the single market and doesn't have a free trade.
Gentlemen, we are out of time. I know, Charlie Mullins, you can continue the conversation with the man himself, with the Brexit Secretary later on. Thank you both very much indeed.